Darcella said.
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hello, and welcome to BKS1 Radio. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel. And of course, I'm sitting here with my bestie over here to my right. You on my right? I think you're on my right.
I believe so. I believe I'm
on my right here. And we are blessed and highly favored to be back in the studio. Another happy Tuesday. You know why? Because you weren't here last week.
I was sick up.
You was sick. What was going on with you, girl? Not to be all in your business. But
No. I literally, I think I had my whole family had a stomach bug. Well, I sent you the pictures, but
yeah, y'all
all of us was
laid up. Y'all was slain.
We was laid up. So,
but yeah, so you weren't here last week.
So I wasn't here.
Well, I don't know if you went back and watched, but I just want to get you up to date on. Did you watch? Okay, so you did watch, baby. So last week, for everybody who knows or does not know, we have been doing this series. Oh, Jesus. We have been doing this this series about Black love, family, and community. And so we started off with the fellas. I know we typically start off with the ladies, but, this time we did not. We started off with the fellas, and we did 4 shows with the fellas. We did 2 with just them in studio, and then we did one with a therapist, and then another one with a therapist and Coach Trev, right? And so it was really good. We got a lot of people that were watching, a lot of people that were said that they had learned a lot. You know what I mean? They said that they had learned so much from watching the series with the fellas, that part of it. And then, so now we were like, now that we got that, now we just got to go to the ladies, right? So we went to the ladies, and last week was the second week of the ladies. So week 1 was the ladies just talking about their experiences in dating, how they feel about, what's going on, how they feel about being single, like African-American women of a certain age that are single.
Yes.
And they were talking about, their life experiences and all of those things. And so we also got into accountability, why they feel like they're single, what are some of the struggles that they feel like they have had, and, things that they have learned throughout this process, how to do things better, all of those things, right? And so with that was week 2, so that's what you missed last week. And, we're still learning. And then, just for everybody who is watching... for everybody who is watching either on YouTube or everybody who is watching either on Facebook, you guys can see everything that's going on in the studio. And so we got the Owl Show live for you because can we clap that up? Can you go to the thing right there? Girl, what are we doing? Right there. Yep, and clap it up. Okay. So we got the Owl Show live event that's going to be coming up. What? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me try it now. Go ahead.
I'm clapping.
Okay. We got the Our Show live event that's going to be coming up on January 11th, everybody. So that is going to be at Smokehouse Lounge in East Brunswick. Tickets are already, this is what I'm trying to tell everybody. Tickets are already moving. Tickets are moving, y'all. And so it's an intimate space. This is not a large space where we're going to have 100,000
So you can
people.
talk freely.
Yeah, it's a small space. It's an intimate space so that you can talk freely.
TikTok family.
And because of that, there's only going to be 60 spots. There's only going to be 60 spots. I'm here to tell you that half of those are already gone. And the event isn't until January 11th.
Right.
So if you're looking to get a ticket, if you've been on the show before, everybody that watches us, you know, our comment section on Facebook will have over 100 and something comments. You know, all those folks, if you are trying to be with us live because you keep saying you want to come here to the radio station and be a part of it, look, this is your opportunity to get your voice heard. This is your opportunity to be part of the discussion. So if you want to be here, then January 11th in East Brunswick, go on Eventbrite now and get your ticket. If you're having trouble getting your stuff, just let one of us know, either DM me or DMB right here. And
we got a lot of topics to talk about, to uncover.
It's
There's
going to be
so
good.
many things to uncover. You know, we don't leave anything off limits, right?
No, we talk about
so
everything.
we talk about everything.
We talk about
And we talking about the black woman, we talking about the black man, we talking about our struggles. We're talking about our triumphs. We're talking about.
I want to talk about something today, but go ahead.
We're talking about everything. Bridging the gap between black women and black men.
Absolutely.
We are talking about
community. It's community, right?
We are talking about everything. The last time we did this.
Go ahead.
The last time we did this, we uncovered so much trauma
in
the black community that we didn't even know existed.
So much.
We know the normal stuff, right? Yeah. But for everybody to just the trauma that is surrounded by how we grew up, what we grew up with, and all those things that we take with us. The baggage that we take with us. Yeah. And and it's funny because we say baggage, and I know we sometimes deem that a derogatory term, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't always see it as a derogatory term because there's some good baggage and some bad.
What's good baggage? Shout out to Dr. Darcella, who is in the chat right now with us.
Anything good baggage.
Wait. Dr. Darcella, we need you next week. So I'm hoping that you can come on the show for next week because we need you back in the studio with us with all the ladies because we had you in the studio for the men to help the men out in this area. Yes. But we need you for the ladies too. But okay, go ahead.
So what's good baggage? Like there are some things because there are some things that's handed down from our parents, right?
Okay.
There are some things that's handed down from our parents that is good.
Is that considered baggage though?
Yeah, because it's still handed down. It's still baggage. Why do we deem baggage derogatory?
Because it's heavy.
There's some heavy light.
I'm just saying,
there's some heavy light. Like
Dr. Darcella, help us dissect this, right? So baggage is usually heavy.
Why is that bad though?
Because if you're supposed to be moving throughout life light, and you're supposed to be moving throughout life with this high level spirit, baggage is usually something that weighs you down, and baggage is usually something that's heavy. But there is
also I think there is some light and love and things that are handed down that's not always negative, right? There's things that's not always negative. So I think we all come with different baggage, right? We come with different baggage in relationships. And you know what I've learned recently, more recently than anything?
What?
Everybody has baggage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you are with a person, you either choose to deal with the baggage that they come with, or you choose to bow out.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
The fact of the matter is there's no perfect people.
Right.
And so, because there's no perfect people, you are never going to have a perfect relationship. So basically, you just got to pick somebody whose ish you can deal with.
Yes.
And then settle down with them. So it's like, what's this person's hang up or what's this person's baggage, right? And then once you figure out what it is,
but you don't always know people's baggage initially.
No,
right?
No, you don't. Absolutely.
There are layers to everything.
People don't always know their own baggage.
People don't always know their own baggage, but there are layers to everything. Will you agree?
Yeah.
There are layers to everything. It's like an onion, right?
Yeah.
A person is like peeling an onion. There's layers to everyone. There's layers to.
So Dr. Darcella said bags can be light or heavy.
Okay.
The issue is it's something you take everywhere you go. So if you are taking something that is positive everywhere you go, then okay, then that I understand. But if there is something heavy or something negative or something toxic that you are taking everywhere you go, then, that's not a good thing, especially because we're talking about family, love, relationships in the Black community. Then no, then that's not a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's not.
if it's toxic. If it's toxic.
But if I grew up in something, how exactly do I know that what I grew up in was toxic?
Most people don't know.
You don't know.
Most people don't know.
What I think is the norm.
You don't know until you get a mirror.
What I think exactly,
and
and what's funny is that I'm telling you, like, segue into what I want to say. So to this weekend that just passed, I went to see. Shout out to my bae who got tickets to in August. She got tickets to Miss Pat.
Okay.
Did not know who Miss Pat was. Did not know. No, she did not.
She had a show.
She got the. She don't know. She didn't watch the show. So she got tickets to the show, right? In August. And we're like, oh, we're going. We go. And when I tell you, I watched, first of all, shout out to her on, she was on just recently. She was on, what's the guy's name that interviewed?
Green Suit, like the one I got on right now.
Shay.
Club
she
Shay.
She was on Club Shay just recently.
Yeah.
And first of all, let me just say this. I watched her interview after I went to her comedy show.
Yeah.
So I watched it. So
she was talking about her husband shot her, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
No, not her. The baby daddy. Because
the
husband was the Kingsman Redeemer.
Jesus.
You gotta watch. You gotta watch her on. You gotta watch her on Shay Shay.
Is there anybody that's a Kingsman Redeemer anymore?
He was.
I need one.
They've been together for like 30 years. So he was that 30
that's her
years
Boaz.
ago. That's her.
Can we go back into Boaz too?
Yes.
I just want to talk about that.
So I want to say this. I want to say that she was the most transparent, and I could totally relate to exactly just everything. Now, I haven't been through everything she's going through.
Right.
Like, I ain't been shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that she talked about was her being young, having a formed body, and being with somebody that was older than her and having two kids.
You go.
Having two kids by them. And not only that, but she talks about just her struggles and things like that, and how her, she was the husband was like she was a comedian, yada yada yada. Anyway, I got this shirt on because she signed it.
Your microphone is in the way.
Yeah, but she signed it.
She did?
Yeah,
that is so nice. Oh, she did. That is so nice.
Right?
That's nice.
But I want to say that her comedy was all of that.
Yeah. Because she's genuine.
Because everything was just too real.
Yeah, she's genuine.
It was too real.
She's genuine.
It inspired me. And I was like, you know what? Let me go and watch this. Because I knew that she was on Club Shay Shay. And after... I
got to go back and watch it now.
I will say, because after you watch Cat Williams, hers is the second best interview after that.
Really?
It is. It is the second best interview.
Not Keke Palmer?
No. She didn't even get as many views. Keke did not get as many views as Miss Pat.
Okay.
So anyway, I just want to say, shout out to her.
Yeah.
I have a profound respect for you because you know how people say that they get it out the mud? Oh, sorry. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our producer like move over.
When I tell you she got it out the mud.
Yeah.
She got it out the mud, did not go past 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
Nobody in her family graduated, but she broke that curse with her kids.
Good.
The kids all got college degrees.
Yeah.
She says she built her house up from the ground.
Yeah.
It's just, her story is one of the stories that you're like, OMG.
Yeah.
And then she said, being who she is, a person, she said that her baby daddy still work at Jiffy Lube, and she makes sure that every year every year, every couple of months, she put a billboard by where he works, so when he catch the
can see
bus,
it.
he can see it.
Good
And
for
I
her.
thought that was the most funniest thing in the
That
world.
is hilarious.
But I just want to say, roses do grow from concrete.
Okay. But going back to your point, like Faye said in the comments, Faye said, someone has to bring that toxic baggage. Like you said, people that grow up in toxic baggage don't know that they have toxic baggage, right? And so just like Faye said, someone has to bring it to your attention, and you have to be receptive in order to work through it. I completely agree with you, Faye. Completely agree with you. Shout out to everybody
I will
that's in
say,
the comments right
and
now.
it's funny because I bring that up to say that one of the things that Miss Pat did say was being with someone, when you're with someone for a long time, it is literally when you get with someone, they're your mirror.
That's what I just said.
Right?
You don't
That's
know
why I said
the
that.
issues you have until
they're
someone.
your mirror.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Being with my wife for the 5 years that we've been together, I will say I've learned some things about myself that I didn't want to face. She literally she has no telling me you are a mess. You're messy.
Can we?
I'm messy. She's neat. I'm not.
Yeah, you always been messy.
Right?
Can we go?
Would you tell her?
Like, you always.
Would
been
you tell her I always been
Can
messy?
you, and again, we ain't talking about messy like talking about.
No. I'm
We're
talking about
like, physically, like
physically, like
space,
I'm
she
just
gonna
not,
leave
like,
something
I'ma leave
around.
something all the time.
Yeah.
I just am.
That's who.
And
she is,
don't let me get dressed to go somewhere. Oh, it's
look
in
like
disarray.
somebody robbed your house.
And then one of the days when I get tired of looking at it, guess what? I fix
You
it.
clean it.
But other than that,
But
it's
can we
just gonna
talk? Can we just be like completely transparent
Go
today?
ahead. That's what we do.
Completely
That's what we do.
transparent today.
That's what we do.
Because you said, okay, so for everybody that's watching now, all the people who are watching on Facebook
TikTok
or
family.
YouTube or Instagram,
Or
if you're
TikTok.
listening on Spotify, y'all pretty much know us because y'all have been watching us for, years now. But for those who are watching on TikTok tonight, because now we're streaming through TikTok too as well. So shout out to everybody who has joined and watched on mine
Hey,
or
say
Queen
cool.
Bees or, to all of those folks, right? Okay. The purpose of our show here, for those who do not know, is called Outstanding Women Who Help Heal, right?
Yes.
And so we've been doing this for years now. We ain't one of these new podcasters that came up throughout the pandemic because they was bored. No disrespect to them.
Hey, try
but
it.
I'm just saying we've been doing this for years now. This is what we do. We don't do it out of our basement.
Right.
We are literally in a real live radio station.
Yes.
Like the studio is right there where
Right.
people make music. Like this is the whole
Yeah.
this is what we do, right? So, if you don't know us, we are completely transparent. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we've been doing this series on Black love and
Yes.
community and bridging the gap and getting everybody together, right? We did the part with all the single men, and now
we
we're
did the part with all the single men.
Now we're but now we're in the middle of the part with all of the single women,
Yes.
right? So they've talked about their experiences and what they need to be held accountable for and all of those different things, right? Now, here's what I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
I got a phone call last Friday from one of our DJs who used to be on the show. For everybody who does not know, I am straight. My partner here, my best friend, her and her wife are happily married.
Yes.
Our two DJs that used to be on the show, shout out to KT, shout out to Sassy, are our LGBTQ family,
Yes.
right? And so Sassy calls me. Sassy, I'm calling you out on this. Sassy calls me, right? Sassy calls me last Friday to talk about a completely different project.
Okay.
Everybody knows I work in entertainment, da-da-da-da-da. So she's calling me about something else, right? So we talking and she's like, hey, Toya, how you doing? I'm like, oh, Sassy, I'm good. She immediately goes past the project and is like, how's your love life? And I was like, how's my love life, Sassy? I was like, I don't have one. I was like, it don't exist, right? I was like, my love life does not exist. I do not have one. It is what it is. And she was like, oh, what you think she said after that? She was like, you need to come over to the other side.
Did she say that? Did she? Because everybody been trying to pull my best friend to the other side. But I'm gonna need y'all to stop.
She said.
Okay.
She said no. But I'm telling this story to prove a point, right?
Yes.
she says to me, Toya, you need to come over to the other side. Now she says, now it's it's a different taste. It's an acquired taste. She said, but
pun intended.
Right. She was like, but on the other side, she said, there's a few things I don't have to worry about. Right. She said, I don't have to. She said, I don't.
Transparency.
Right. She said, I don't worry about. She said, we don't have the typical financial arguments that people have in relationships. She said, I like to spend. She likes to spend.
Yeah.
We both make. It is what it is. Right. She was like, that's the first thing. Second thing, she was like, as far as emotions and all those different things, she was like, we be on the same page with that because we're women. So
clearly,
that is what it is too, right? I'm like, okay. So basically, she's trying to sell me on LGBTQ marriages, right? So I'm sitting there listening to her, and I was like, Sassy, is this your pitch? To try to get me to convert? Is this your pitch?
Nah.
She was like, Toya, I'm just saying, if you ain't having no luck in what you doing, then you might try. I was like, nah, Sassy, I'm not going to try. But you know what it started me to thinking?
What is that?
With all of these podcasters and with all of these men in our community nowadays that seemingly are coming on with this disdain they have for women. And no matter what they do, if you make too much money, you're not a good woman because you don't need a man. If you don't make enough, you're not ambitious enough and you're not a good partner. If you wear a weave, all of a sudden you don't like yourself. If you walking around with just an afro, you don't know your beauty and you don't know this, that, or the other. If you've had children prior to getting married, and this is for the younger ones.
Forbid.
There's something wrong with you and you shouldn't have chose Pookie and Ray Ray to have a baby with. If you're 45 and you never had children, oh my God, you long in the tooth, ain't nobody wants you. What's wrong with you? If you have never been married before, then it's nobody wanted you. Clearly, you're the problem. Something got to be wrong with you. If you've been married before and you're divorced, now you toxic and it's something wrong with you. And it's like, if you listen to all of these podcasts and if you're listening to all of these conversations and if you're listening to what sounds like all of this venom and vitriol that we have within our community and we have within our culture, it's no wonder that you got single women of a certain age that are trying something else.
Yeah.
And I literally started thinking about that as she was talking to me.
You thought about it?
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about that. But I started thinking about that is how a lot of this is happening.
It's happening.
Yes, you have people, clearly, right? You have people that are born however they are born. You have people that make choices. You have a whole myriad of things that are going on. But what I'm trying to say is...
Hey, some more.
What I'm trying to say is, with the vitriol that is coming from our men in the black community, it is no wonder that as single black women, we are choosing so many different things. Like, do you know how easy it is to be
not
like...
just because I want to say this. I want to say this.
Oh, my God.
It's not just, and it's so much to say... Black women are just not choosing like the same sex. They're choosing outside of their race as well.
They're choosing outside of their race. They're choosing the same sex. They're choosing to stay alone. They're choosing to just struggle on their own.
Like,
black women are choosing everything except for black men.
But hold up. And you said one thing, choosing to stay alone.
Choosing to stay alone.
Choosing to stay alone. And that to me, I hate to see, and even best friend, I could say this about you, right? I hate to see black women who I know are wife material, who are beautiful souls, who will give the shirt off their back, who will be a helpmate to whomever picks them. I hate to see them alone. It bothers my complete soul because we are not supposed to be,
we're not made to be
alone.
No, we're not.
Women are not supposed to be alone. We were not made to be alone.
No.
And the thing that you don't understand is you are a force to be reckoned with when you have a partner. It is so hard. And I don't care, and I'm saying this, I don't care what you choose.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a partner,
absolutely.
When you have a partner, you are a force to be reckoned with when you have a partner because you have a helpmate, you have somebody that sees you.
It's two.
It's two.
Everybody talks about
and you
two
never
guys
have to
being
go
better
through
than one.
anything alone.
Alone.
You never have to go through
right?
anything alone.
Right.
And that's the part that everybody's not understanding. Why is it so difficult to understand that?
I don't know.
Why are we being so picky to a point where you're not choosing your mate and saying, hey, let's
make
rock
your life
with this,
easier.
to make your life easier.
To make your life
I'll never
easier.
understand that. I'll never understand it. And I'm not saying, let me tell you something. I'm transparent enough to say I am not perfect.
Nobody is.
I have gone through relationships. I'm still learning new things in this relationship that I've been in for almost 5 years. I am learning stuff about myself that I didn't know, that I didn't address, that I'm not aware of. That some of it is, look, and wait, how about some of it is I'm aware and I just thought, hey, you take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. But I just I'm so baffled at the part where people don't understand you are better with
a
two.
partner. Yeah.
You are better with two.
Yeah.
It's hard in this world when you are just alone and you have no covering.
You have no
when
covering.
you have no covering.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Let me tell you what I don't want to. I don't want to go through sickness alone.
Nope.
I don't want to go through burying my parent alone. I don't want to go through taking care of my siblings and my kids
parents.
and my parents. And I don't want to do any of that alone. I think I'm a force to be reckoned with when somebody can hold me up. When somebody can literally hold me
Go ahead,
up.
keep preaching, sis. I'm gonna drink to that. though.
Somebody
This
gotta.
is- This is my communion, y'all.
When somebody could hold me up, when somebody could literally be there for me and I could be there for them, when it's a give and take. And let me tell you something. It ain't always a give and take because sometimes in a relationship, there's somebody that's okay and there's somebody that's not.
yeah.
But again, you're still dealing with everything that the world, and this world is crazy because we've seen 2024 has been a doozy for everybody.
Yes, it has.
I don't care where I turn. When I talk to somebody, when I tell them about 2024 started off hard.
Yes, it did.
And I am telling you, it's ending the same way. We have seen more deaths. We have seen more corruption. We have seen more hard times. We have seen so much in 2024. We've seen times that peace is nowhere to be found. And to go through that alone is an atrocity.
Yes, it is.
To go through that alone is an atrocity.
Yes, it is.
It's not fair and it's not right. And I need us to get it together. Black women, black men, get it together. Get it together to a point where, like, I get you, everybody has a checklist. Everybody has a checklist. But don't make your checklist so unrealistic that you are not literally. Hey,
Hi,
E,
everybody.
I gotta
Sorry,
say,
my
I gotta say hi to
son just
E.
walked in with some food for us. Yay.
Don't make your checklist so hard that you don't allow yourself to find love and to feel love.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I will say this: what I thought was love is not. It's not. I've been duped all this time.
Talk about it.
I've been
Talk
duped
about
all
it.
this. What I thought
Talk
was
about
love. Miss Pat said it too. What we thought was love. Somebody cheating on you, somebody doing
that's
whatever,
toxic.
and you staying.
That's that
No, it
toxic
ain't.
behavior.
But see, it wasn't toxic to our grandparents. They stayed.
Out of survival.
They stayed.
Out of survival. Women couldn't work or couldn't get money or couldn't live on their
Past that
own
part.
or all of that.
But you got to
know?
understand something. Past that part, let me tell you, past that part, we did what? Even when we got on our feet and we were whatever, it was, that's a man gonna be a man.
Well.
A man gonna be a man.
Well.
And that's what we were taught. So we were taught to, it's funny because I laugh when I see people 40, 50, 60 years. You got my grandparents that were together since they were 20. They both died recently last year. Actually, it's my grandfather's anniversary. He died in November. My grandmother, to the day, 3 months later, she died. You know how long they were together for? 70 years. We say we're 93. 70 years they were together. They know nothing else from one another. What I'm saying to you is, and my grandmother, let's just be real. My grandmother went through hell. Life wasn't always great, but I loved who she was. And she made nothing out of something. And that's the part that I respect about her. And that's the part that our black women do. We do that.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
I want to honor us for a moment. I want us to reach back into our self-worth, because there's a lot of self-worth that we're letting go. There's a lot of self-worth that we're not, rewind, we're not having self-worth. We are literally, I listen to Tank and the Bangers because I love them, right? And they have a new album out. And in one of the songs that she says, when did you listen to the lie? When did you buy it? When did you buy into the lie, right? When did you listen to somebody tell you that you weren't what you are? When? And we've been doing that to ourselves. If we have a couple of standards, we stuck up. We stuck up. If we have some standards, we stuck. If we too educated, if we make too much money, if we whatever, we stuck up.
Right.
And I don't want us to be like that.
Right.
Why is this black love so complicated?
Why is it so complicated?
Why is it so complicated?
And here's my question, right? And I was actually having this conversation with our other best friend. I was having a conversation about making life happen versus life happening to you, right? And I find so many of us in our choice to be single and in our choice to remain alone, some of us, it is a conscious decision. That is what it is.
Yeah.
But for many of us, it's waiting for life to happen. How long are you going to wait?
How long?
Because if you say you want something, if you say that these are things that you want in life, how long are you waiting for? And then I want to and when you talked about the Kingsman Redeemer, and everybody, if you don't know Bible, Boaz was the Kingsman Redeemer, right? For his community, family, this, that, or the other. Everybody went to him, and he was helped everybody out, right? And so for people that don't know the story, because and I'm not a preacher, y'all know that, but for people that don't know the story of Ruth and Boaz, basically, Ruth and Naomi was her mother-in-law, and they were, Naomi was sending Ruth away. She was just saying, you need to go and do this.
Right.
I'm going to go and do that.
Right.
Either way, they started talking. They realized that Boaz was the Kingsman Redeemer, and I just want to break this down. Basically, Boaz was the ninja with the money. Boaz was security. Boaz meant you marrying him. It meant that you didn't have to do for yourself, right? Okay. She sent him there, and it's crazy to me when everybody makes this such a religious story, right? And I know I'm gonna step on a lot of toes. Everybody talks about, you got to find your Boaz. You got to find your Boaz. Everybody makes this a religious story, right? Long story short, Naomi, the mother-in-law, says to Ruth, listen, go lay in the corner of that man's bed.
Yes.
If he puts a corner of his blanket or whatever on you, y'all are good, blah, blah, blah. Y'all are going to get married, this, that, or the other, right? Why do people make that out to be such a religious thing? I'm asking.
I was about to say,
and even from my church folks and those that know the word, why do people make that out to be such a religious thing? Let me break it down to you. What happened? These two women devised a plan.
Devised a plan. Yes, they did.
To make sure that for their security and their longevity, that they were taken care of. She told her, basically, to risk your life, because as an unmarried woman, you can't be caught in a man's bed.
Absolutely.
She told her, basically, go risk your life and go lay in this man's bed. And when he uncovers you, If he finds favor upon you, meaning if he doesn't say
the irony,
if he doesn't say, woman, what are you doing here, and then send you off to the guards to be stoned, beheaded, or whatever they did to women at that particular time. If he finds favor upon you and then marries you and this, that, or the other, then you're going to be good. But yet we're being taught now, just sit back and wait for your Boaz.
Is he going to be in a grocery store?
Ruth didn't wait for her Boaz. Ruth literally, and I'm not telling women to risk their lives.
So
here.
then, does that
I'm not telling women to risk their lives. Not
contradict.
Here,
Hold up, but does that contradict the he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing?
I mean, he found her in his bed, but she put herself there.
Who got the spoon?
But she put herself.
But she put herself
there.
In a position to see this bestie not a preacher, but I am.
I'm not a preacher. But all I'm saying is, I'm bringing it to the fact that you were talking about those who are not choosing to remain alone by choice. Right. And my point is, whether you are making life happen or you are waiting for life to happen. For those who are waiting for life to happen based off of biblical standpoint, whatever culture told you, your mom said if you do this you a hoe, your society said if you do this you a hoe, whatever all of those things are, right? Whatever all of those things are, everybody brings up the story. People that don't know Bible bring up Ruth and Boaz.
But throw it out the window, because at this point in 2024,
that's all I'm saying.
At this point in 2024,
Faye don't get me.
I'm not saying that you just got to shack up with just anybody.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that I need
you have to be intentional.
You have to be intentional. The perils of this world require you to be with someone. And I get it. We're strong. We're independent. We're raised to be whatever. We conquer all of that good stuff. Yeah. But you have got to have a life partner.
She went to the field to position
in order to be whatever in this world.
And if you were going to be intentional about it, like Anita says she went out to the field to position herself for him. The point is she did something. She did something. Right. Everybody talks about, I'm waiting on my Boaz. No, Ruth did not wait on her Boaz. They saw him, knew they wanted him in particular, and she positioned herself to be able to get him. Yeah. She did not sit back and wait. So for all these people that are saying that they want, they are alone and they are waiting for this or they're waiting for that. If this is something that you want, and especially for people in our age group, right? Like we are 45 years old. We are middle-aged at this point, right? You say you want something, then you need to be intentional about finding it. You need to be intentional about getting it.
But let me tell you something, and that is not restrictive just to Chanel. That's not restrictive just to a relationship. We're talking about anything.
Right.
I'm talking about going out to get anything.
Be intentional.
At this point, you need to be intentional.
Behind your intention.
Just put intention in your life.
Intentionality.
That's it.
Like all of this being middle-aged and you waiting for this and you still waiting for that. Are you serious right now?
I'm not.
Do you see where life is going? Do you realize that we are a generation that has lived through a pandemic? The last one was what, 1920s or whatever it is? Like we are probably going to be the only generation in this time period that has lived during a pandemic. Yeah. We watched people,
it will.
Well, hopefully it won't.
It will.
Well, Jesus.
No,
Lord.
it will.
Well, we are the first in this time period to have lived through a pandemic, right? And my point is, you watched people dropping like flies on a daily basis. I was watching CNN. I was watching the numbers, and people say, they was falsifying all the numbers, this, that, the other. But the fact of the matter is that we knew people that were dying left and right, right? No matter if the numbers were falsified or not. The point is, you are now at a time period where sitting back waiting is not an option. If this is what you want in life, if you're talking about community, if you're talking about family, if you're talking about love, but you're still waiting around for this perfect woman to come along, something's wrong with you. If you're talking about community, family, and love, and you're sitting around waiting for this perfect man, something like, no, it does not exist.
Don't wait for the perfect man.
It does not exist. I'm not telling people to settle. I'm not telling people to deal with just anything. But what I am saying that if there is something that you want, what Tasha say, make yourself available, position yourself, and be intentional about getting these things.
Yeah.
Because as a community, there are too many of us that are in our age group that are not getting together, that are sitting back waiting for all of this perfection in order to do it. And it's never,
we're losing. We're losing time. We're losing time.
But let me tell you, we're not only losing time, but as a community, we are losing so much.
Yeah.
You have people losing out on legacies.
Yes.
Do you know how many? You know what I thought about today before I got here? Do you know how many of our men that when they pass, their last name is gone?
Oof.
How many black men, when they pass, their last name is gone because they didn't have children?
You're right about that.
Like, it's stuff like that is happening
right
to our
that.
community. Like, there is so much going on with us as black people.
Yeah.
And it's like, when are we going to wake up and get it together? People of other races get it. And I know, I get it. People of other races ain't go through what we go through. People of other races have the financial,
We got all that.
this, that, and other,
know
blah, blah,
all
blah,
that.
blah, blah, right? But the fact of the matter is that we are in a space where some of us are are thriving and not just surviving.
Right.
And if you're in that space where you're able to thrive and you're not just surviving, and you're able to give to someone else and be a part of someone else's life, and you're able to create community, and you're able to do all of these things, why are we not doing it?
Why are we not doing it? Why are we not
And
doing
especially for the ones that say they want it.
Yeah. I don't understand
I don't
that.
understand
I don't
that.
understand that. I don't understand. And I talk to, don't get me wrong, and I always say, I'll tell everybody, I grew up with all boys. So I do have, not that I have a man's mentality because I'm still a female, but I listen to my brothers. My brothers, I have a lot of them, right? Have a lot of brothers. Have a lot of brothers that have different personalities, and I swear that every man I've encountered, I always be like, that's Akil, that's Mufid, that's whomever. All I'm saying to you is that it is to a point now. We are getting to a point where it's 2024, and we're actually not finding our partners for the stupidest reasons.
For the stupidest
We're not finding
reasons.
our life partners for the stupidest
God.
reasons.
I can't.
Stupidest. It be so like the things that we say.
I gotta tell you what one of our best friends said. No, shout out to him. But I gotta tell you what that he said the other day.
Oh,
and
God.
I don't even know if he watching or not.
Oh, God.
But I gotta tell you about that one. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Red cup to that one.
It's like, what are we doing here? Do we realize and do we recognize that you feel like you're making an individual decision for yourself, but when too many people are making this same decision, you're making it for an entire race of people?
Absolutely.
You are making it for an entire community of people?
Yeah.
That it's not just, sometimes it's not just about you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Because you talk about legacy. And the one thing I loved, because yes, me and my wife, we are two women. But the one thing about us is that we've always desired to be examples. And don't get me wrong, we go through our stuff, we go through our things. But when we talk about, we're very intentional about legacy, what we leave our children. The impression, not just I'm talking about financial, I'm talking about the impression we leave upon them, the love we try to show them, like regardless of what we go through, we still love each other,
right.
We still need each other, we still want each other, we still are building together, we still are doing whatever. The thing is that legacy is not just financial.
No, it's not.
Like you said, it's the last name.
I mean,
it is the things you pass down from generation to generation.
Yeah.
And it's the things that you destroy.
Yeah.
It is the things that you destroy.
Yeah.
It is when I say destroy, I mean those those generational curses that you destroyed as a unit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's important too.
Absolutely.
That's important too.
It's people don't realize that there is so much that is getting lost by us not being together. I want to shout out one of our friends, right, who is watching on Facebook.
Yes.
I want to shout out Tasha and her husband right now, because we have these conversations. Tasha and her husband are still under the guise of they have an open door policy at their house, right?
Nice.
So we all know grandma house or whoever house, actually it was my house growing up, was the house that anybody could come to at any time. If you hungry, you going to get
always
something
one.
to eat.
My mom was that.
Right. But that's getting lost.
Oh yeah.
But that's getting lost.
Oh, it is.
That's getting lost. It is. But what people don't realize is that when you're still able to be like that, and again, if you're in survival mode, then I understand you can't have people at your house and in your face all the time, right? But when you're thriving, like I said, if you're thriving, right, and you're able to do that, if you're able to keep your lights on and have other people there, and you're thriving, you're in a good space, right? And I always big them up because they are continuing the legacy of community. And community isn't something that we have anymore. And what people fail to realize is how important community is. See, community is where we started businesses together.
Yes.
Community is what kept most marriages and families together. And I always use the example of you would have Leroy and Daryl would be in the garage and they would be like, well, you know, Cheryl is a good woman now, you know, don't do this. You know what I mean? And you would have Barbara and Betty
and the same for
in
men,
the kitchen,
men
right?
too.
In the kitchen, like, well, you know, Leroy get on my nerves, but he's a this and he's a that and da-da-da. So when you had your families and your spouses around other people, and other people were able to impart something into you as to what they saw, and it wasn't people being in your business, and it wasn't any of those things. This is what kept families together. This is what kept households together. This is what kept us together as a community. That's why, like I said, we were starting businesses together. We were keeping families together. We were helping one another. People weren't going hungry and all of these new terminologies they have for homelessness and hungry and all that. No, it was,
come get this plate.
It was, you know, Billy sleeping in the garage, you know what I mean? Because he down on his luck and da-da-da-da.
Come get this plate.
Or Cheryl over here with the kids because we still had community.
Yeah.
And so I always big them up. So shout out to them.
But where we lose that at? Do you know?
We lost it in, you can't come to my house. That's my I have amassed this, that, or the other, and I don't want you and your ghetto family and your kids and your this and your that, and I don't want my sister looking at what I got, and I don't want my brother knowing this, that, or the other, and I don't want this and I don't want that. So no, I'm not saying you can't have boundaries.
Definitely boundaries.
Because your family and your friends will take liberties.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't have boundaries, but I'm saying, do you know how many people you can't even go to their house now? Do you know how many people in our community? First of all, you better not show up unannounced. You better not show up unannounced. That's number one. I didn't grow up like that, but hey, I get it. You better not show up unannounced.
You got my mother's house right now. Like, people know that where my mother has lived since what? How old, Toya? 14. I think my mom lives in the same place.
Yeah, exactly.
Same number.
Exactly.
Right?
Same
exact phone number.
Everything.
But the thing is, you literally can go to her house and show.
Yeah, you better not show up unannounced to people's houses. Number one, you better not show up and asking for anything. Number two, number three,
that's where
people,
we lost.
Number three, most people now, you can't even call them.
Yeah.
If you are in need, you better send a text message first so they can field what you're going to say before you say it.
We lost community. We lost connection.
We have lost community in trying to maintain ourselves.
We did. I'm so upset about that.
And that is a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, I get it. A lot of us out here who are alone, a lot of us out here who are single, we just trying to keep our heads above water. We just trying to take care of whatever is in our household. So it's
hard with two people, but just alone.
But alone, I get it. I am one of them people where, no. while I am one of those people that is taking care of a household and by myself, I'm still not one of those people where you can't come knock on my door.
I will say,
but I will say I understand.
What I will say,
if you don't have
that
I
part,
say that.
But what I will say is that regardless of how I go home to somebody.
I do.
The one thing I know, is that this person, hella high water, has my back. Has my back. And I ain't let me tell you something. I'll admit on this air.
It's a soft place to land.
Say it again.
It's a soft place to land.
It's a soft place to land.
I need that right now. It's a soft place to land.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. Let me tell you this. And I'm not the easiest person to deal with. I say this, and I don't even know if my wife is watching. But I will say this. I am not the easiest to deal with.
None of us
I come with baggage, right?
None of us
I come with childhood traumas. I come with adulthood traumas. I come with things. And I'm saying.
But we in therapy.
Right.
Sis,
we both.
Best friend.
Okay.
Sis,
therapy.
We in therapy.
I say that to say nowhere am I perfect. Nowhere am I perfect. But I strive to be better.
Right.
Better, right? Better for me, better for her, better for them, my children, better for everybody, better for all of them.
Yeah.
Better asset to this world, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just, again, we're talking about creating legacy.
Community.
We're talking about creating legacy. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that I think we're missing.
We're missing that.
We're missing that.
And that's why I said, if this is something that you say you want in your life, you better be intentional about it. You better be intentional about it.
That's it.
Because sitting back just waiting is not the answer.
No, it's not.
Better be intentional about it. Women, you better make yourselves available. Women, you better position yourselves. Yeah. Men, it's time for y'all to start choosing again. But
women too. And I want to say this. Because I don't know if the men will agree with me.
Out of alcohol? I feel like
I got you though.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, what I do want to say is this: women, we got the education, right? We do. We got some independentness. We have that. So now let's go get your partner. No, I'm gonna say that.
Is it that? Is it the wave? It's not. It's the West. The wave now. Go get your partner.
Go get your partner.
Go get your partner.
Go get your you. We got all the setbacks we had and all the things we couldn't acquire. And
Can we put that on a hoodie?
We got that. No, we got the money. We make over six figures. We do that.
Can some of us
go get your partner?
Can we put that on a hoodie, a T-shirt? We're gonna start a campaign.
Go get your partner.
We're gonna start a campaign saying go get your partner.
Go get your partner.
I'm gonna be the first one because y'all know I still need to do that myself. But the point,
go get your. Come on now, we done all that.
I'm
we
practicing
did all that.
what I preach.
And I'm not saying, hear me. This is not to any again. Y'all know my sexuality. Y'all know that I'm married to a woman. She is heterosexual. We're saying when I say go get your partner, I mean I don't care who it is or what it is. But go get your partner. Be intentional about that. Go get your partner.
Go get your partner.
Please.
Lord Jesus.
Because I'm going to need you. Hold up. Let's just be real. These next 4 years, I'm going to need you to have a partner.
Jesus.
I'm going to need you to have a partner.
Jesus.
Go get your partner, please. Go get him.
Jesus.
Go get him. Go get him.
Literally. No, seriously.
But no,
let me read some of these comments.
Go ahead.
Aisha said, we have friends and exes from elementary school that still show up to my mom's house out of the blue. Clearly, your family created community.
Right.
People were comfortable there.
Right.
Tasha said, without community, how are we all on the same page?
Right.
You don't know if you all are on the same page. See, we used to know what people were like back in the day because we spent enough time around them.
To know them.
But you knew them and you knew their relationship. You saw them interact with each other.
Yeah.
People now will marry somebody and you'll say this is your best friend and they ain't never met him before a day in their daggone life.
Right, though.
They ain't never met him before in their daggone life. And you like, what?
I grew up with her.
Child, when she met her wife, because we don't believe in that you can't bring them around until you got to come around now because we need to see if we all gonna get along.
Yeah.
She brought her in.
Well, hold up, that's the key though. You got to understand because I mean you did this too. You got to be able to mesh with the best
Which
friends, right?
you gotta be able to mesh
Because-
with. No, we're people of a certain age.
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to mesh with the circle in the world that
Yes.
I already had before meeting you. Because I've been on this planet 40 years
Before
before
you.
meeting you. So all of that has to come together because
Yeah.
how are we creating community if we're not doing that? But when she met that one, shout out to Dawn, and brought her to the house, she walked in the kitchen. I was sitting in the living room. She walked in the kitchen. I said, yep, this is it. I was like, she ain't going nowhere.
You right. You did say
I
that.
did say
you
that.
did say that.
I said that.
You did say
I said,
that.
this is it. She ain't going
This is
nowhere.
it.
I was like,
Yep.
okay. All right. This is what it is. I saw it. I was like, it is what it is.
You did say that.
What'd she say? Tasha said so true. Faye said lies and vicious rumors. Aisha said that. Tasha said, how are we on the same page? We are not. If we don't have community, community is everything.
Oh, I'm so mad about that.
Khadija said, I
Leave
had
us
an
to
open
love. How do we love again? TikTok, talk to me.
Right. Deej said, I had an open door for over 10 years and don't even hear from people I've fed and housed.
Wow.
She said, now nobody know my address, but the bill's in Amazon. Deej, shut up. Deej, did you get your ticket yet? Deej, get your ticket to the live event.
'Cause you better be there.
January 11th. Let me go ahead
You
and
better
pull,
be there.
pull that up on the screen.
No.
Deej,
But
Deej-
it's crazy that you say that because you know what's funny is the deeds that I've done. The deeds that I've done, I don't even remember.
No, I don't.
I don't even remember until people remind me that I've done the deeds, you know? Shout out to
Right.
everybody joining.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody
Yeah.
joining. I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys. I love you guys.
Where's this thing at? Why am I lost? Yeah,
But
okay.
the deeds that I've done now with my wife, without my wife, without just being alone with my friends,
Yeah.
with whatever. I don't even remember that I do all these deeds for these people, right? I don't remember that. But that's the whole thing of the each one teach one, right?
But that's all within the community.
The community
That's
part,
all within the
the
community.
legacy part, the
It's all
whatever.
within the
I
community.
always, you know, and it's funny because I always say this about money, and I've always been, me and you have always been like this. Without we got it, we don't.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
we've always
And if
given,
I got it, you got it. It's
If you
vice
got
versa.
it, in
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
if somebody called me and be like, "Yo, you know, I need $40, this, that, and the other, $50, $400,
400, 4,000.
Ugh.
The numbers have increased over the years.
Let's
So,
talk
I mean,
about it.
It is what it is. right?
But I say this to say, I'm very transparent when it comes to I care nothing about money because you can't take it with you when you go.
No, you can't. No,
You can't take it with you when you go. And if I got it, you got it.
Right.
If I got it, you got it.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in that, and I'm still the same way. I'm still the same way about money. I make it and I spend it.
That's what it's for.
And I save it.
and that's
And
what it's for.
and sometimes there's times where I've saved it to give it. Right?
Right. Deej said, ain't she on the panel on January 11th?
She on the panel.
Come on.
Deej, you on
Come
the
on,
panel.
Deej. Come
on the
on,
panel.
Deej. She said, ain't I on the panel.
But
I'm
I'm
said,
grateful.
Ask me how I met Dawn.
But but you know what?
Hey, Shalonda. Shout out to
You
Shalonda
know what I
too.
did growing up, and I always get emotional about this because my mom, I watched my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I watched my mom give everybody
Yeah.
whatever she acquired.
Yeah.
Her family. My mom, sometimes I used to be so mad at her, right? I used to be it's funny because I turned into her. But I used to be so
Don't
mad
we
at her
all?
because she took care of everybody.
Mine too. My
Right?
mother did too. No, my mother did too. My
They
mother did too.
acquired all of these things and they actually gave back to everybody. Some of them people ain't here to this day.
Right.
Some of the people that my mom took care of ain't here to this day. But my mom taught me this. One of the things my mom taught me was you take care. You take care.
You take
and
care.
sometimes you
And-
just don't
and-
look for
and
stuff
becau-
in return.
No,
You take
don't.
care.
You don't look for nothing in return. And the fact of the matter
Yeah.
is your mother had a community mindset. And
did.
so many
But her
people,
mother was like that.
Right. And so many people lost that. My parents had a community mindset, which is why my house was always the house that everybody came
Go
to,
to.
ate at, slept at, stayed at, whatever. There was
Spent
always
the night at.
There was always somebody there. I would wake up in the morning and be like, well, who is this in the kitchen? Oh, that's your cousin, blah, blah, blah. They blah, 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 blah,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Right? And because I grew up like that, I became that. And then I became that. The difference is I became that on my own. You know what I mean? I didn't have the partner, although we said 2025 was go find your partner. But I did all of that without a partner. However, my children have taken that on. So everybody who doesn't know, my son is in the process of, buying a house. And he says, I need to find a big enough house because I want to do all the things that you did, Mom. I want to make sure that I'm able to house and have people over and do all of that stuff because that's how he was raised and that's what he grew up. That's what he values
and
now.
Exactly, and I love that part about him. But because they don't make him like that no more. But it's funny that you say that because I was talking to a friend today, and she was saying that her son said to her, "We're gonna take our family on our back." And that's what a lot of the older people did. A lot of the older people took families on their back.
My parents
and
did.
they were like, "Hey, I made it. Now I need you to make it.
I made it
now
enough. I made it enough. I made it enough.
That right there.
I made it enough.
That right there.
No, I wasn't doing this, doing that, doing this, and doing that. But I made it enough where I was able to assist in one way or another.
And that's legacy.
That is legacy.
That is legacy.
That is legacy. That is community. And that's typically what it does.
I never forget
when you have partners.
I never forget. I have a big family, right? And I love my family and I love my nieces and my nephews, right? So my wife is.
When your mama get on TikTok?
She on TikTok.
What?
Hey ma, she on TikTok.
I'm looking at your screen.
She on TikTok. She on the TikTok.
I cannot.
So I will say this. You let me make my train of thought up.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But I want to say that I want to say the legacy that we created, the legacy that we started, the legacy that our parents started should continue.
It should.
It should continue.
Yeah, it should definitely.
It is sad that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was saying was my wife. So in knowing me, she knows. She always says that she honors these things about me, and she honors the fact that she honors the fact that I am how I am with my family. And she is pretty much the same way. She raised nieces and she did all of that stuff. And I remember, when everybody was wanting to spend the night at my house, even Ethan and everybody spending the night at my house and doing stuff at my house, I'm like, and I remember being scared, like, I don't know how she gonna take this. But she was like, it's an extra piece of chicken. Like, bring them. They could come. Like, come on. And I love that about her, and I love that period.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that that's how we got to look at things, that when we're creating a legacy, it's another piece of chicken.
It is.
It's just another mouth to feed.
That's it.
It's just another, because when you pour into them, you don't understand what you're doing for the next generation. You don't understand what you're preparing for the next generation. You don't understand what you're doing for your lineage. If we only understood.
If we only understood.
It's
bigger than us.
It is.
But
we always said that.
It's bigger than us.
We always said that.
And we don't have a lot of time. It's bigger than us, and we don't have a lot of time.
We don't.
All right, listen, we actually out of time for the show
because
it's
8:02.
It's 8:02. So listen, we don't have a lot of time, but again, it's bigger than us. We don't have a lot of time.
Love you too.
2025 is what? Go find your partner.
Go find your partner.
Go find your partner in 2025. Listen, next week the single ladies are going to be back in the studio with us. So please, 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 don't miss next week's show.
Yes.
Dr. Darcella,
hey, Kimberly.
I sent you a invite for next week because we definitely want the therapist to come in to talk to us the same way that you did with the fellas. So please make sure you're getting back to me on that. And then make sure you all are getting your tickets to the live show. We are going to be live on January the 11th.
When I tell you, I never exaggerate, but our events are always the bomb. They are totally the bomb. The food, the drinks, the music, everything will get you popping. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. And it's conversation that needs to be had. You can talk about anything you want to talk about. Anything plaguing you. So 2024, it's 2025.
2025 is make life.
Bring it.
They said it. Make life happen in 2025.
Make life, man.
And go
we still in that.
And go find your partner.
We coining that.
I said make life happen.
Make life happen.
And then that's what It's going to be in East Brunswick at Smokehouse Lounge, everybody.
So, Mike,
check my page. Check my page, everybody, and you guys can get the
we love you guys.
Yeah, you guys can get the Eventbrite link to go ahead and get your tickets.
But come out, please.
But come out because it's going to be a vibe. We're going to continue these conversations in person, and you guys.
And at least you get
to
add to the conversation, right? You get to add to the conversation. But we love you guys. We will always have next week. Please do not. And I got to tell my TikTok family, thank you so much for joining today. If you are late, let me just tell you that we are the Owl Show. We are the outstanding women who help heal, and we are healing with conversations that are forbidden. There's some of the things that we never got to talk to about as children, as adults, or whatever. We are trying to heal. Yeah. So we love you guys. Please tune in next Tuesday. Yep. We will be here same time, 7 to 8 p.m.
Yep.
Love you.
Same time, same place.
All right.
God willing, a different show. And
love
God willing, we will all be here.
Thank
love
you
all.
some more. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
We love you.
Go
we
ahead,
love you,
Jeff.
guys.
Take us away. Take us away.
We
Take
love
us
you.
away, Jeff. All
Let's
right.
talk
Bye,
about
y'all.
it.
Bye, y'all.
Let's talk about it next Tuesday.